Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry.
Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters? Am I even human?
First things first, possibly the biggest game that's going to be coming out in the following months, not to mention the most anticipated PlayStation exclusive at number 1, we've got here Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which will release now on the PlayStation 5 on February 29th. Just a quick mention, those of you who haven't played it recently, Apex Legends is getting on with the excitement as well with Final Fantasy's release, bringing a bunch of new content to the game that's themed around the new Final Fantasy universe. Check it out, in case you missed it.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth! Come on!
On me.
Look! Look!
We trusted you. Let you live among us. Now your friends are slaughtering the people they swore to protect.
This has been almost a whole year, but we finally came across more than 15 more minutes of gameplay and story on the new Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which has been in the making for at least 400 years. DC came out with more than 2 trailers blowing up the whole thing. The word that is now releasing on February 2nd, 2024 for PCs and the next generation of consoles only. You probably know this already, but this is a live action game, kinda like Fortnite.
Now you shouldn't be scared. I'm good and prepared, and I'm under each snare, intangible. That you didn't think, so I command you to.
You think you're a team now?
You think you can stop us?
Thought you'd never ask.
Pick and choose, sit and lose, all you different crews. Chicks and dudes, who you think is really kicking too?
He's the fastest man alive, according to all these girlfriends.
I'm happy, feeling glad I got sunshine. In a bag, I'm useless, but not for long. The future is coming up.
So, what's the plan?
Time for us bad guys to save the world.
Life to the living, death to the dead. We have sworn to protect the living from the lingering dead.
Next up, we've got Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, the narrative-driven action-adventure from Don't Nod, inspired by the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Maybe a little bit of God of War 2, just more on the narrative side. Banishers was actually announced early in 2023 with a pretty vague window. The game just went on and got itself a release date of February 13, a new trailer showcasing more of in-game combat.
Death to the dead. Life to the living. Death to the dead. Honoring my oath. Or sacrificing the living to bring me back. I'm not sure I can do this. Honor your oath or bring me back. But don't leave me like this.
Moving on, we have the longest awaited Arrowhead Studios' sequel to a 7-year-old top-down shooter game, what's called the Helldivers, and now 2. The new game over here is coming to PCs in the PlayStation 5 only on February 8th this year. It's a third-person shooter that mixes the old PlayStation exclusive game Returnal from last year, and kind of like halfway there, close to the upcoming game Arc Raiders in formula, engine, and also story. Possibly the longest wait in its developer's history, Granblue Fantasy Relink just went gold and is now finally coming out on February 1st, 2024 on PCs and the PlayStation consoles only. We got a new trailer for it, both gameplay and story, that said this 8-year-old new entry in the Granblue series is gonna remain a PC to PlayStation exclusive as it was announced. Relink is a JRPG in nature. It's also actually going through a free demo right now. You probably know this even though we haven't got any update for this one for the past few months. Skull and Bones is at the moment one of the most anticipated Ubisoft games for the past decade. It's finally coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles on February 16 this year, and it's a multiplayer pirate open world adventure kind of like the Black Flag, the Assassin's Creed. We actually take control of a pirate ship and team up with friends for raidings and stuff. Check it out, here's the new trailer.
And so too, Nightingale. Awaken your first portal and tread on towards that which is boundless, beyond the measurable.
Nightingale, which has been one of the most hyped games since its reveal in 2022 Game Awards, was announced to be no longer coming out in 2023 and now due out on February 22nd on PCs. Good news, it's no longer coming in early access phase, so soon we're gonna get the console versions, possibly. If you missed it, Nightingale is a fantasy open world survival third and first person shooting, crafting, and RPG.
Regardless of which portal variety you favor. Realm cards will be necessary.
Well, to put it simply, we're talking tag team battles. That means the name of the game will be Teamwork, as you aim to dominate cursed technique battles.
If you haven't heard about Jujutsu Kaisen yet, good for you, I guess, because we got a new trailer for it and a release date of February 2nd this time, on both generations of consoles in addition to the PCs. The game, as you might have suspected, is a action brawler by Bandai Namco itself and one of the major IPs for the company that's coming out in 2024. The game is a 1 versus 1 up to 4-player multiplayer brawler that is based on its TV show with 15 playable characters and a lot more.
Better to join the fray with a pal than go it alone, wouldn't you say? Cursed energy is a key factor in any brawl. Raise your cursed energy level, and you'll be able to use powerful techniques and unique capabilities. This is sure to give you the leg up you need. Once it reaches the late stages, you'll see clashes between ultimate moves chock full of cursed energy. Just imagine the exciting battles that'll unfold. You can also unleash joint attacks in step with your partner. And ultra-powerful awaken moves that can turn things around at the 11th hour. Domain expansion. Infinite Void. You can play online too. There's online versus mode where you fight in ranked 2-on-2 matches against players around the world. And online co-op mode where you and a partner take on CPU opponents in a series of battles. I recommend online versus mode to polish your skills and online co-op.
Leading to the government's claim of eminent domain and subsequent seizure of the peninsula.
Pacific Drive, on the other hand, announced a little less than a year ago as a running-based first-person driving in a survival game that even makes sense, technically how it's described, mixing some science fiction road trip stories with a dash of open world. This game is coming to PCs and PlayStation 5 on 22nd of February.
Let's begin. Sewing is my life.
Last one! Go for it!
Atlus just came up with another new trailer on Persona 3 Reload, the company's highly anticipated turn-based RPG, and that is now releasing on February 2nd for PCs and both generations of consoles as well, except Switch. Here's a trailer, we got a new one. We know it'll feature the same characters as Persona 3 did, including the director's cut version of the game, a new playable intro, better visuals, and of course new voiceovers.
That's the Dark Hour. A time period hidden between one day and the next.
They only appear during the Dark Hour and attack anyone who roams free outside the coffins. It's our job to defeat them. Pretty exciting, huh?
Persona. Next. Come on!
Why do you try to fight when you know it's hopeless?
In fact, I don't even really have a good reason to live. For me, or you, or anyone, just simply existing gives our lives meaning. Soon, the end will come.
We are not giving up, no matter how long it takes!
To me, this is what it means to live.
If you have missed out on the Game Awards recently, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, the award-winning game from Starbreeze Studios from over a dozen years ago, is getting a remake as well, built from the ground up with the use of Unreal Engine 5 and hitting the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and PCs only on February 28. You might want to know, this is a single-player experience which will now also be playable in local co-op. It's a big leap.
Welcome to Königstein, Master Inquisitor.
Do you really believe there's a vampire hiding in town?
Number 12. We've got here once again the Inquisitor, previously titled The Inquisitor, now retitled to a shorter version. We came to understand at first for the game to be a Souls-like or a story-driven action-adventure based on a series of books about this alternative history where Christ has taken the whole thing pretty one-sided, and you know, instead of forgiveness he comes up with rage. Anyway, it's that kind of game. Maybe it's a masterpiece, we don't know yet. It's going to be coming out on February 8th into PCs and next generation of consoles only.
It feels familiar, as I keep discovering how much has changed during my absence. I'm a Thaumaturge, and staring into the depths of the human soul is my craft.
11-Bit Studios' new work, in case you missed out on its official reveal. At number 13, we've got here the Thaumaturge, a story-driven RPG or a choice-based dark fantasy game set in 1905 in Warsaw, where because of some freak nature accident or incident, demonic beings have made a crack to our realm. Kind of like the premise of the movie Hellboy. It's almost the same in premise, just much darker. Anyway, the game's set to be coming to PCs and next generation of consoles only on February 20th this year.
Is up for debate. Did Father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? What do you intend to do?
Your power is terrifying. Do you know that?
Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
The boundary that separates good from evil is hazy and elusive. I didn't catch your name. Some people believe their evil deeds are the work of inner demons. Yet I know these demons don't come to those with clear conscience.
First light of Etera. Time has been your temple. But fate now sets upon a darker path.
Been in development for almost 4 years. I can't even remember the last time I mentioned this one in the list. Last Epoch, which is in general an action RPG, is finally coming to PCs on February 21st this year. It's a pretty typical classic dungeon crawler, but it actually combines the Diablo formula with a time traveling option. Pretty interesting idea if you ask me, and it looks pretty good.
You will stand on the edge of extinction. With the last light of humanity in your hands. You must not fall. Uncover the past. Reforge our future. The war for Etera has only just begun.
Hello, Survivor. I see that you finally set your first step into our beautiful land of paradise. Well, It used to be beautiful before the zombies swarmed in. Don't worry though, we have what you need, a Zombot.
Coming from the famous developers of the old How to Survive series at number 15, we've got here Welcome to ParadiZe. Basically, another survival multiplayer game, but the premise of this one is a rather different one. You just don't kill or, per se, defend yourself against these zombies, but actually capture and then turn them into workforce. Does that make sense? Well, you capture them and teach them to farm or fight for you. It's a pretty interesting idea if you ask me. Anyway, coming to PCs and PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X as well, on February 29.
The zombie becomes friendly and obedient, but still not very smart. So, it'll be up to you to tell them what to do. Stay safe, Survivor, and see you soon.
On a floating island as a seeker. Your goal is to explore a serene fantasy realm of ancient wonders and natural beauty, solve its mysterious puzzles, and unveil the secrets of the islands.
Coming as its developers' almost first work, following a couple of other pretty small games, Islands of Insight here is a shared world puzzle adventure game set in a massive world where your job is mostly solving puzzles and unlocking new areas. It's quite a bit inspired in looks though by last year's game Phoenix Rising. The difference here though is that the game is basically including no combat, but that's it. We know it's coming to PCs exclusively sometime later this month.
Challenging and satisfying to solve for newcomers and seasoned puzzle fans. There is no linear path in Islands of Insight. You choose where to go, which puzzles to solve, and in what order, all at your own pace. You can solve puzzle quests to unlock new areas in the campaign, or explore the main island, an expansive open world where most of the puzzles and secrets are found. Wander around the sublime landscapes on foot, or glide above them. Our shared world allows for seamless interactions and collaboration between players. You can interact with others for a bit of guidance, or you can play entirely on your own. This is your adventure. In today's fast-paced world, we hope Islands of Insight delivers a sublime escape for players looking to unwind. If you want to discover more, play our demo today on our Steam page.
A game about a single mother and her daughter embarking on a journey to uncover their family's shocking secrets.
Tess?
Announced over 2 years ago, almost 3. Number 17, we have Open Roads. It's a first-person story-driven game about a mother and a daughter that are on a journey to find this treasure and some rumored stories. Now, the game is made to feel like a movie, and it's a pretty well-received more on PC so far. Through early access, it's now coming out fully on consoles on February 22nd.
As well as the profound bond between mother and daughter.
It's not a dead end. We just have to get out and walk.
Where, Tess?
I think it's through here. Thanks for the help, by the way.
Look, I know you're upset. We both are. Let's just get in, see what we can find and get out. Before I change my mind.
Of a long-forgotten saint. For there was once an empty potential about to be birthed into existence. But the potential was greeted by short-sightedness. Although nigh honestly covetous, nor completely barren.
And last but not least, from almost half a year ago, coming from Sweden this one, we've got here this Metroidvania side-scrolling action-adventure PlayStation to PC exclusive game going by the name Ultros, which is touted as a psychedelic adventure. It's a lot inspired by Hollow Knight and Dead Cells. Anyway, here's the announcement trailer. The game is coming out on February 13 this year.
As fit and proper, but never aware. Dictated from beyond by blessed ignorance and idle hands. Uji's solidarity, like an utopian hummus. Blessed be she. Life is not given, but received. And her worth lies therein. Blessed is she. Blessed is she. blessed issue.